Welcome to Haunted Mindfulness. Hello, I am Kat. I'm so happy that you are here. Every week we are going to begin with a little piece of folklore, uncover the psychology that's hidden within it, and then we'll end with a meditation that lets us experience the lesson for ourselves. So wherever you are, let yourself just arrive in this moment. Take one slow breath in and let the story begin. Not every light in the darkness is guiding us home. And today, I hope this is going to become more than just a class. My hope is this becomes a different way for you to relate to your own body, your own mind. Not fixing it, not defending it, not defeating it, but simply understanding it. I'd like to begin with an old story. There's an old piece of folklore told across Ireland, England, and the misty marshlands of Europe. People spoke of strange lights that appeared after sunset. Soft, golden. They were hovering just beyond the path, dancing above the water, though somebody was stringing them along like a lantern, carried off in the distance. Travelers believed that these lights would lead them somewhere, help them, maybe guide them to safety or home, maybe a nearby village or even a shortcut. So they followed them. A little bit farther, over one more bend, just over that hill, and hours would pass as the path deepened beneath their feet. The marsh grew deeper, colder, and by morning, it was simply heartbreaking. It had led them farther than they'd ever wanted to be. These lights were known as the-Wisps. Some people believed they were spirits. Others believed that they were mischievous little fairies. Today, science tells us that they could be gases rising from decaying plants, glowing faintly in the darkness. But I think storytellers understood something a little bit deeper. Not every light deserves to be followed. Our minds create will-o'-the-wisps. I lock the door. What if they misunderstood what I said? Maybe I should check one more time. What if I'm wrong? What if something terrible happens? They glow with urgency, and they promise certainty. They whisper that relief is just one thought away. And before we realize it, we have wandered far past the present moment. This class is learning how to recognize those lights. Not because we'll stop them from appearing, but because we're learning that not every light deserves attention. Have you ever wondered, why does my brain even do this? And if you're here, there's a really good chance that you've probably asked that a bajillion times. Maybe just lying awake for hours on end, replaying conversations. Maybe after checking something 3 times, only to be unsure a few minutes later. Maybe one thought just refuses to leave no matter how hard you try and no matter how uncomfortable it makes you. And many people wonder, why can't I just stop thinking about it? The answer may surprise you. It's trying to protect you. In fact, our brains has been doing this for hundreds and thousands of years. It scans our world for possible danger. Now, long before we were stressed out about emails, parenting decisions, medical test results, or even awkward conversations and text messages, our ancestors worried about very different things. A strange sound in the bushes, a storm approaching, poisonous plant, or even a hungry predator. The one who noticed danger the quickest are the ones most likely to survive. Over thousands of generations, the human brain has become exponentially good at asking one question. Could this be dangerous? Is there danger? And the remarkable thing is your brain is still asking the same question today. But it's about modern day problems instead of lions trying to eat us. It's worries about conversations and relationships and money, your health, your children, your reputation, your future, even your own thoughts. And that doesn't make your brain broken. It means that your brain is doing exactly what it was evolved to do. And sometimes it becomes a little too good at doing its job because not all thinking is the same. Biggest reasons people feel confused because we often lump every kind of thinking into just one category of overthinking. There can be several kinds of overthinking. We have planning that is incredibly useful. What do I need? Usually ends with action. Make a grocery list. You go buy the groceries. Task complete. Planning helps us build our lives. Problem solving begins with a challenge and works towards a solution. How can I fix this? Once a reasonable answer is found, one can usually move on. Worry. Now, worry is a bit different. It usually doesn't solve problems. Instead, it tries to predict them. The what if. Sometimes worry helps us prepare. Sometimes it is incredibly repetitive and makes us feel stuck instead of ready. Rumination. Now, rumination, backwards instead of forwards. It plays, it rewinds, it reviews, it asks, what did I say? What should I have said differently? What if they think I'm terrible? Rumination often feels productive because we're thinking so hard. But sometimes we're simply just revisiting the same story without learning anything new. Intrusive thoughts. This is one of the most misunderstood. Intrusive thought is an unwanted thought, idea, an image that suddenly appears in our mind, and it might feel strange, embarrassing, frightening, or even completely out of character. And many people believe that intrusive thoughts mean something about who they are. The thought is not a character reference. A thought appearing in our mind does not simply create an automatic value or your intentions or reflect your desires. Simply a thought. Distress comes from not the thought itself, but the meaning we assign to it. Obsessions. Now, obsessions sometimes makes a thought feel really important. So the mind will refuse to let it go. Clicks back again and again, demands attention, and it insists. Figure it out. Be certain. Certainty will definitely solve our problems. It doesn't. It says don't let it. The more important our brain believes a thought is, the more resistant it's going to be to letting it go. The more frequently it's going to return. Compulsions. When something reduces anxiety, even briefly for just a moment, the brain will remember, like so fast. Checking the lock, reading one more article, asking for reassurance from that person just one more time, repeating something in your mind, reviewing that memory over and over and over again for a moment. Relief. Brain learns, oh my God, that worked. And so the next time anxiety appears, it will ask you to do it again. It's just your brain learning, and unfortunately, it's learning a cycle that often keeps many of us trapped. Here's a different way of looking at your mind. Imagine your mind as a guard dog, loyal, and its job is to absolutely protect you. Notice anything that is unusual. Sometimes it barks when someone's truly at the door. Sometimes it barks because a squirrel ran across the fence, or because the wind moved a branch. Probably wouldn't be angry at this guard dog barking every single time. Probably wouldn't assume that there's danger every single time. You learn to investigate to see. Our mind deserves the same type of kindness. Not every alarm means there is an emergency. Not every thought requires immediate action. Mindfulness isn't teaching the guard dog to stop barking. It's teaching us how to not panic when we do hear it. So here's a simple practice to bring home. I call it the thought census. For the next week, don't try to change your thoughts. Simply just be curious. Whenever you notice a thought loop, a pause, stop and ask yourself, what is this about? The past, the present, or the future? That's all. No judging, no fixing, and no analyzing, no meaning, and no investigation. Literally imagine that you're a naturalist in the forest just observing nature, simply learning to recognize them, and you may be surprised on what you notice. Take a few moments to reflect on these few questions. You don't need to answer them perfectly, just think. Which type of thinking do you notice most often? Planning, worry, rumination, or something else? Do your thoughts spend more time about the past, the present, or the future? What will-o'-the-wisps is your mind asking you to follow over and over again, making you feel less and less like home inside yourself? Because I promise when you start to do that, you're going to be incredible what you find when you start to navigate your thoughts with curiosity instead of criticism. This week, don't try to stop the lights from appearing. Just try to notice which ones are inviting you to follow. Because not every light in the darkness is leading you home.